Hello, U.S. History 101 class. Welcome to week 3. You will notice when you look at your weekly work objectives that you have an optional paper this week for extra credit. It is not required, but you need to do everything that you would normally do on the paper. It's only 10 points, but it's extra credit points. That's why. It's the same thing that I do for a normal. I will grade it the same way that a normal Sunday paper at 15 points, but in this case, you can get a maximum of 10 extra credit points, okay? So even if you do a poorly written one, despite the fact that you followed the rules that I have, 5 points would be still extra credit, so even if you didn't score really high. So if you have the time and you want some extra credit, this is a good opportunity to do so. If you need to give yourself a break, also take advantage of that. I just want to mention to you that this is exciting as we're building very quickly in our class to the beginning of this week we will be ending right as we start to move forward into the American Revolution. And I'm going to be giving you some primary sources to look at next week that I think you will find eye-opening and maybe you were never exposed to before. You'll notice, of course, again, in the reading link, I do something regarding what's going on in the world at the time we're covering stuff. So I didn't have any assignment for it, but I talk about Peter the Great and his reforms. And you'll notice that by the time his reign ends and his reforms have been implemented, it's somewhere around the time period that we're covering in this week, the material we're covering. And so I always want to remind you that I'm always going to be trying to find world historic events, just like when I covered Korean slavery, just simply to broaden our discussions about seeing the world to put America in context to the rest of the world around us. Hopefully this will just be helpful and give you a better mental picture of what's going on in the world. And so if you ever have any questions about that or questions about why I posted any of those things, let me know. Basically, I just to say, I try to think of a country that's not the United States that might cover something kind of developing around the time period that we're going over, and then show you just a way to see how those kind of cross over around the same time period. So that's ultimately what I'm trying to do. That's about it. Okay, so obviously if you turn on the news, you will notice that something happened in the UK, right? The Queen has died, and for the British it's much a time of mourning. I was in Thailand not long after the King Rama IX died, a very popular monarch, and there was a lot of strong feelings about that. At the same time, the Queen generates a discussion about the legacy of British colonialism. Now, it's very interesting to me that as Americans, you don't really see Americans kind of correlating our own 4th of July with, let's say, Africans or people from the Caribbean or other parts of the world that had a relationship with the British monarchy and their colonial imperial power, and the kind of mixed feelings that some people would have about the legacy of the monarchy. And so if you do take a look out there, you'll see that many people from Kenya, Nigeria, just for example, just a few from example, have mixed feelings. And India also, extreme mixed feelings about the situation. But the monarchy of the UK still has some relevance in a way that's a little bit, it's too much to explain right here, dealing with the Commonwealth. And I'm leaving you a video clip so you can watch that. It opens up a lot of discussions and probably questions that you would have. I'm not going to cover them right here, and I'd go into this more in my Western Civ 105 class or World Civ 107. But hopefully it'll at least get you to realize or to think about things beyond just the British monarchy in context to British life and our media life here in the United States. That's all I mainly wanted to say on that. I hope you're all having a great week, surviving the heat. And contact me again if you need anything. I'm always busy, but I will always also try to reach out and get a hold of you. All right, we'll be in touch. Have a good week.